Matt Mercer reveals the reasons he wanted to step out from behind the DM screen and shake up the cast before Critical Role Campaign 4, and Wizards of the Coast's huge new video game faces a serious setback.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Welcome to this Christmas Eve edition of Fantasy News for those that celebrate, and before we dive into some Matt Mercer and D&D tidbits, why not give the gift of liking and subscribing? With YouTube becoming ever more full of low-effort AI slop, liking and subscribing means more than ever to these videos, and we really appreciate it when you do. And then, let's dive into the news. Matthew Mercer joined the Mythical Kitchen crew to appear in their latest Last Meal video, and in between eating some incredible food, Matt dropped some more behind-the-scenes details about the big changes at Critical Role before Campaign 4, and why adding new cast and stepping away from the DM screen was such an important step for him personally. Besides simply gushing about how amazing Brennan Lee Mulligan was as a storyteller, DM, and a friend, and saying that he felt truly safe trusting the Critical Role DM position and the narrative of Campaign 4 to Brennan because of his incredible work ethic as much as his incredible talents, Matt also talked about something deeply personal in his own decision to step back from DMing. While he mentioned that it had been 10 years, and he and the rest of the cast felt it was time for some new blood and some big changes to shake things up, he also touched on his own personal reasons for wanting to become a player for Campaign 4. Getting to experience an adventure with his friends after 10 years of guiding his friends.
But now then getting to be a player and be at the same place with all the rest of my friends, both newer, and older, to step into a world that I don't know everything about, I forgot what that sort of mystery is like. The concept of building just a small corner of this space and then stepping out into that fog of war with my friends hand in hand, arm in arm, and going, whatever's coming, we're doing this together, and it's going to be weird and wild and probably a little perverted and overall extremely fun. And it's been such a joy.
So it wasn't just burnout after 10 years of grinding, it was just as much that Matt wanted to share the experience of playing the game with his friends, new and old, and he wanted that excitement of stepping out of the DM's chair and into an adventure to reinvigorate that love of D&D and RPGs that helped create Critical Role in the first place. We also got a very heartwarming scene where Matt talked about his origins as a D&D player, and the very first adult who truly made him feel like his D&D hobby was worthwhile and nothing to be ashamed of, his old teacher Mr. Busby, who then surprised Matt by leaving him a video message where he shared the story of defending Matt from the class bullies who were harassing him about being the only boy in a dance class.
I said, let me make sure I have this straight. So Matt's the one guy taking dance with like 60 girls, and you guys are making fun of him? Who's really the idiots here, right? And so everyone kind of thought about that, and I think Matt appreciated it.
All in all, it was a great interview full of lots of little tidbits about Matt Mercer's family and his experiences with Critical Role and role-playing in general, and it's well worth a watch if you have an hour in your day to set aside. So make sure you check it out during the holiday break over on the Mythical Kitchen channel.
Great story, compelling and rich.
And in some slightly less joyous news, Wizards of the Coast and D&D are facing a surprise setback on their upcoming Exodus game, which is basically their take on a sci-fi RPG epic like Mass Effect, as the head of the entire studio working on the game stepped down with over a year to go before its release. James Olin, the legendary BioWare dev and head of Archetype Studios, has left the game and the studio, with Hasbro execs saying he, quote, felt his work on the game was complete and that the polishing and tuning were in great hands with the team. That seems very odd, given Exodus has a release date listed as sometime in 2027, so potentially up to 2 years or more away, which really doesn't seem like that would just be time spent polishing up a nearly finished product, especially given the game's very public delay announcement earlier this year. Not exactly signs that a game is in that final touch-up stage, honestly. Olin has apparently decided he'd rather focus on tabletop role-playing games, which makes sense given that Exodus also launched a TTRPG to go alongside the video game, although their odd stealth launch of that title is a problem we also dug into in a previous video. But for now, the man who basically created the studio helming up the biggest video game Wizards of the Coast currently has in the works, which they have teased at multiple years of Game Awards with multiple trailers, is now gone. So can the title still succeed without the man who helped shape the Baldur's Gate and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic franchises at the helm? 2027 is still plenty of time to get everything back on track, but it remains to be seen if a new studio head will help create the next Mass Effect style space opera. They're literally still trying to fill a senior producer position at this point. Or if this could be a Sigil style disaster in the making. But in the spirit of the holidays and for our own selfish love of the genre, We hope that Exodus finds a new head to get a game that we can all enjoy out sometime in 2027. And that's all we have time for in this brief holiday edition. So let us know what your favorite story was down in the comment section, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.